Welcome back, and I hope that you've been keeping well. And today's topic is all about what are some of the challenges you as a HR professional you should expect if you are looking to work for a family-owned or even owner-managed business. So I got this idea of the video through an interaction I had with a HR professional. They are looking to move, they are not happy where they are, and there's a job we had advertised here at Corporate Staffing Services. And when I got talking to him, he did remind me of this video idea, because this is something I've been having on my mind, because based on the various interactions I've had with many of you in HR. So today's video, the focus is what challenges should you expect as a HR professional if you're working for a family-owned business. And I must say there are a lot of many family-owned businesses which are run professionally. But unfortunately, there are a few which are not very well run, and this can really affect your career. And I would say majority of those who are not really professional run, they go to the extent of really destroying the HR professional's career. So without further ado, what are some of the things, 5 things that these unprofessional family run business practice? What are some of the things that they do? Number one is them accepting your advice, your professional advice. I've had instances where a HR professional tells me, I quoted the Employment Act and I was told to go and start my own business and apply that. And I know it can feel bad, because you are doing that, you are trying to advise the firm, so that you can help the organization, so that you can make sure that they are compliant. But you'd imagine now a business owner telling you that, that if you want to apply the law, go and practice it elsewhere. I know that doesn't feel good. And sometimes the reason they do that, some of them, is because they don't understand. I've had instances where HR told me this lady went for maternity leave, and the owner could not understand why they can't replace her with someone else. So problem number one is in terms of them accepting your professional advice. Second challenge, and this is closely related with number one, is on the issue of compliance. Now, you and I know HR, some aspect about HR, it's all about compliance. And what do I mean? Look at the labor laws. As an employer, we don't have a choice. We can't say that you're going to comply with the one section and then the other section not. No. So as a HR, working for this family-owned business, at times, some of these compliance issues, they go contra to the thinking and the thought of the business owners. And I've given you an example, things like maternity leave, the leave policy, even the due process when you're letting someone go, I've also, even I myself, I've had an instance for redundancy where I was advising the client that if you're letting someone go on account of a redundancy, this is the package, this is what you're supposed to pay them. And guess what the business owner told me? After all these many years, why should I give someone $500,000, a check of $500,000, and I'm not even doing well? But this is the reality. This is what the law stipulates. Also this individual has worked for you for this number of years. So compliance also, it's really a big headache when you're working for these firms which are not professional. The third thing I would want you to have at the back of your mind, it's all about how do you handle emotions. Either emotions that are directed to you or even amongst the family members. So when you're dealing with a business owner or this family-owned business, sometimes things, you do have your ups and downs. And the owners, they're not able to have the emotions in check. So also, as a HR professional, if you're the person who reacts very fast, if you're the kind of person who takes some of these comments to heart, then you're really going to have a hard time. And guess what? It's going to happen. You'll have some of the people will shout at you, some of them they'll disrespect you in front of your juniors, and it does happen. You must be very careful, and especially during the interview stage, you can be able to pick out on some of these bad habits. For example, if you go early for the interview, 20 minutes early, look around and see how is this business owner or even the other family members, how are they treating the staff members? And guess what? If they're being nasty or rude, that the same will be done to you. Number 4 is on the issue of succession planning. Unfortunately, some of the family businesses, for them it's about the here and the now. They don't think about the future. So here you are trying to implement, put systems and processes in place, but they don't see it like that. Majority of them, you look at it as just an additional cost. So you might be here thinking about, how do I make sure that, my staff are trained, this department is trained, such that whenever we have a gap, someone can be able to fill in. So you'll find your ideas may not really be readily accepted. And I know it doesn't feel good, especially when whatever you're suggesting, it's not for your own sake, but for the betterment of the organization. And lastly is, when it comes to some of these family businesses, you might not be able to apply your full skill set. And what do I mean? I've seen instances where someone is hired in HR and all you do is this paperwork, the mundane HR work, leave management, hiring, and even firing. So you don't even get to practice strategic HR. Why? Number one, because of the perception they might be having of the HR, that your work is only to hire or fire and maybe do some filing here and there. And to make it even worse, you might find even being asked to do things which are not in HR. Here you are being asked to do sales or a lot of admin work, something which is which you really not help you, and you not where the HR will not really be contributing a lot in terms of the business. And the worst thing is, 1-2 years later, they'll be asking you, what have you done with your department? And yet they're the ones who've been pulling you out of the HR department to do other tasks and the responsibilities which are not related to HR. So those are my observations. I would say those are the 5 areas I've identified based on the interaction I've had with the HR professionals that I meet now and then. And like I said at the beginning, there are very many professionally run family business and owner-managed businesses. They have systems, they have processes, they respect the HR. However, let's not forget the few who are really nasty and they can mess up your career. So thank you for watching this video. I would want you to share your experience. How has it been, working for some of these firms? Or you've heard it from your friend who worked for, some of these nasty businesses. What has been the experience? So please leave a comment so that someone who's watching this video, they can be able to learn. And this channel is all about helping each other as HR professionals. Thank you for watching. If it's your first time, do subscribe.